Fishing with Fred will not be seen tonight so that we can bring you the following. The Absolutely Completely Random podcast starts right now, only on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Hello everybody and welcome to the Absolutely Completely Random podcast for Saturday, September 29, 2018. My name is Andrew Rhodes. It is a pleasure to be here. Sorry I had to cough there. And what do I have in store for everybody this week? Well, I'm going to be talking about Battle Angel Alita being moved back once again. It's pushed back again to next year, February 14th to be exact. TellTale Games is sadly closing their doors, and after telling their employees they got 30 minutes to get the hell out, might also be putting the Walking Dead game that they are now most famous for in dire jeopardy of really being completed. You have a new One Piece opening to look forward to. Hopefully it's shorter than the current one, but I doubt it highly. And Sword Art Online will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. At least the English versions of it will be, or at least to the Switch. You know what? I'm not happy either way because that means that Sword Art Online isn't dead in the water like people think it is. It's still vibrant. It's still going. It's still a good series. I don't care what you people have to say. All this, maybe more, maybe less, you never know. What could happen on here? Anything can happen. That's why it's called a random podcast. But before we go any further, you know the song and dance by now. ARHOADS -2012. If you're in the market for oddities, collectibles, weird things, if you just want to have a conversation starter for the holidays that are coming up and you don't want to try to break the ice with Weird Cousin Ted that hasn't talked to you in 13 years but comes to every single one of your functions, hey, guess what? You finally have the chance to find something that could spark Cousin Ted's interest. You never know what could possibly happen, but, you know, that's just a wide variety. I got trading cards, DVDs, what have you, wide variety of stuff, so feel free to check it out. Just swing by, take a look at what I got. That's all on ARHOADS -2012 on eBay. You can also follow me on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. Don't forget to subscribe to the official Web Designer 18 YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out the Web Designer 18 Facebook page, because all the wonderful Web Designer 18 goodness is all at your fingertips. Yep, that's right. Okay, so how'd my week go? Well, after the incident last Saturday, which is going to be coming up, that's its own topic in itself. Things pretty well. This week was a pretty substandard week. I had to take my supervisor on a little field trip, so to speak, over to the bank. Both days I worked this week because the manager's out of town. That was fun in itself. Let's see. Finished off the yellow jacket nest we had buried in our basement, which was a lot of fun. We watched Good Burger last Sunday, which I liked the movie. I picked it up at Walmart. It's actually not a bad movie. I did see it as a kid, and I always did kind of like the skit and all that. My grandfather got a real kick out of it, though. Let's see. Did I really do anything else memorable during the week? Oh, yeah. I beat the Endless Corridor section on Puzzles and Dragons to only find out that there are more Endless Corridors that you can now play, which is a pain in my backside. But, yeah, what have you. I mean, come on. It's not a Puzzles and Dragons game without somebody getting screwed over, right? But anyway, it's been a pretty fun and uneventful week, so to speak. So, yeah, I mean, I really didn't do much of anything this week worthwhile of mentioning. But, yep, so that was my entire week. I seriously cannot think of anything else that I did this week. Crap. I gotta start jotting this stuff down. I guess my memory's starting to go. But anyway, yeah, so there is that. That's how my week went. So let's get into the podcast, shall we? Okay, so last week in the description of the podcast, I explained that I would, I said that I would explain this week what in the hell was going on. So here's the thing. I wanted to do something special last week for a lot of people. Because I bought that really cool webcam sort of deal that I used for the Q&A video. And I thought, hey, this is cool, this is great. I'll use this make the video, do the podcast via, the camera, and actually record myself doing it. And I actually did the entire podcast, mind you, okay? The entire 45, though it actually was like 48-minute long podcast. And that's where my problem started. So, besides recording it on what I assumed was recording at 30 frames per second, I thought it was recording at 30 frames per second. Turns out it was only recording at 10 frames per second. Anybody that knows anything about video editing knows that 10 frames per second is piss poor quality. And then I started having my infamous the words are not matching the lip movement problem that I've had so many freaking times. So, I'm pissed, basically. And I'm scrambling around last Saturday night trying to fix this as quickly as I can so that I can get the video fixed up, get it condensed to a nice manageable size so I can upload it on Sunday morning. And at the one point I finally just said, fuck it. I was done. It was going on midnight. I just quickly got the audio files up, quickly separated them, called it a damn night, had to re-record 3 parts of the podcast, and I said, that's it, I'm done. Plopped it up on YouTube the next morning like I usually do, and that was the end of it. I really had this looking nice, though, too. I had transitions going from my logo to me, to my logo to me. It was really looking nice. Each segment was separated. I honestly enjoyed how I did it and what I did. And I was just really pissed off and upset that I could not figure out a way to get it to work. And I have watched multiple videos on video editing, things like that. I just cannot catch a damn break with any of the programs that I have. Windows Movie Maker, which is what I basically use to put the audio and my static image up, worked out really well for that. I just tried this whole shit show again tonight. I've been doing this, and I want to say this. It is currently 10:08 p.m. right now, my time. I have been working on this podcast this week since 7 o'clock. I was recording it, I was editing it, I was plopping it up here and there, fixing up each video individually, and I thought, cool, I finally got this. I got this to where I can do this. It's gonna work out the way I want. Yes, it's gonna work. And I had one segment that was 7 minutes long. Okay? About a good little over 7 minutes. It cut off a good 4 minutes of the video. I could not get it to pull up the other 4 minutes, no matter what program I stuck it into. Well, let me phrase that. I tried it on Movie Maker because I have the settings, because it was a large file. Because it was almost 2 gigs just for that clip. And it couldn't, it cut off a good 4 minutes. And I'm like, what the hell? I was pissed, I was aggravated, I was angry as all hell, and I finally just threw my hands up in the air and said, screw it! That's it, I'm done. Do the audio, because I'm not going to spend another night screwing with this. So that's how, that's what's up with this entire thing. Now, I do want to do another Q&A video. I am planning to want to do another Q&A video. I was going to want to do one for October. That's kind of up in the air right now because I don't know if I'm going to get this situation settled. At this rate, I'd probably just be better off buying a freaking camcorder, fixing up a little makeshift shelf to put it on, and literally just do it that way. Because I'm like really getting pissed the hell off with this. And this is a webcam-ish sort of deal that I got on eBay, and it worked. You all saw it worked for the Q&A video. So I can do a Q&A video. I just have to limit it to under an hour and hopefully not deal with the lips are going faster than the damn words. But what pisses me off is the fact that I lost a good I lost a good 4 minutes of video on one part. One part. I can't get it to look anything worse than crap no matter what I do. It's a webcam. I know I'm asking a lot of a webcam, but if it can record in 1080p, if it can record X amount of pixels per megapixels, if it can record in X amount of frames per second, why isn't it doing it? It's my magical question that I have. So I'm on the hunt now to try to find new one. This will work for Q&A videos so long as nobody minds. But yes, I am planning on improving this because I really want to do a video portion, okay? I mean, I went through hell and back to learn how to condense the videos down to make them smaller so I can put them up on YouTube for everybody to enjoy. So I kind of want to make that knowledge I gained and the couple free programs that I downloaded actually worthwhile and not be a waste of my time. So that's going to be my long-term plan for the future here. But as for now, I am thinking about doing another Q&A video. I want to do it. I want to try to get all the questions in by, let me pull up my calendar here. I think I was figuring October 20th. So this is the official announcement here, okay? I want to do another Q&A video. I have to limit the questions to about 10 per person because I'll have to put this thing at under an hour. This has to be way under an hour. So if you got 10 questions, I'll take them. So long as it's not political or religious, I'll take them. Okay? Because, honest to God, at this point, I want to do another Q&A video. I really do. My mom said I should do one a month, and I like the idea of doing one a month. But if I'm going to be stuck with my little chintzy camera here, because the one on my laptop royally sucks. There's no fixing that train wreck. If I'm going to have this camera, fine. I'm going to try my damnedest. If not, I'm going to scour eBay this week and see if I can't find a better camera. See if I can't just look into just bite the damn bullet, get a damn camcorder, and be done with it. Because I want this to work out. I want to really go into this and do this well. And I don't want this to be half-assed. Now, yeah, I could just record the entire thing with my one camera, but the microphone on that sucks, and if I have that recording and I have this going, then I'm going to have to perch that at a spot where you're not going to be seeing my lips moving. Because if you see my lips moving, you're going to see that the audio is not going to match the video because it's going to be two different sources. And that's the issue that I'm at. So, that's what happened last week. That was my whole issue. I went through hell and back because I really want to make this channel great for you, my fans, and for you, the viewers, the subscribers, and everybody else that come out and check this channel out. I want to try to do better things. I mean, I'm even trying to improve the backdrop here that I have. You saw it in the Q&A video. I want to try to improve that. I'm working on that. I'm working on cleaning up a small section in my room where I can like sit on a chair and actually record. So I'm working on improving this stuff. It's just I have to kick it now into a second gear and reconfigure some ideas that I had. But that's what went on last week. That's what kind of drove me batty. Because I was pissed off at that. I honest to God, I was pissed. So that's what happened last week. That's what went on into this week. Because I tried it again today, and I just said, you know what, screw it. I made that decision about a good 14 minutes ago. I'm like, screw it, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. To hell with it. So, it's going to be audio for a while on a lot of my videos, including the rants, reviews, podcast. I'll do the Q&A. If I can get my camera to work, I will do the Q&A with the camera. If not, I'll come up with a neat logo or a neat picture or something that I'll have up, and I'll have to do it audio. Let me know in the comment section if you're fine with there just being like a static image. I mean, I'll take a decent picture of myself and use it as the logo or as the, static image. Honestly, I'll do that because I have plenty of cameras. I got one on my tablet. I got one I got at a yard sale for $5, and I got one that I got the 1 year for Christmas by default. So I have 3 good cameras. I can take a picture of myself. That's not a problem. Let me know if you want that. If you do, I will work on that. I will work on getting that going. But as for now, video-wise, that's not happening. At least not until I can find a better camera or just bite the damn bullet and buy a damn camcorder. And yes, I am even thinking about going GoPro because I know what GoPro can do. So that's where I'm standing at. But let me know in the comment section below if you wouldn't mind, if you're alright with the Q&A video being a static image. Because I did do a face review. You know what I look like. I can take a picture of myself. That's not a problem. So let me know in the comment section if you're alright with that. If you are, that's how I'll do it. If not, I'll try my damnedest to get one up by then. It'll give me about a month to find one. But anyway, Q&A video. Please have all your questions in by October 20th, midnight your time. And 10 questions per person max, please. Because that way I can keep it under the amount of time and I don't have to worry about maxing it out. But if you're alright with the image thing, I might change the amount of questions. So it all varies on if you're alright with the static image. Anyway, that's where we're at. So that brings us up to speed now. So let's go into the podcast. Now that I've gotten that off my chest. Okay, so this is some wonderful news coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter. Good old James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez have unfortunately pushed back the release date once again, mind you, for Battle Angel Alita. And this is kind of pissing me off because I really want to see this movie. But if they're doing this to make it more like the second trailer, then they're going to turn me off of it. So this was originally supposed to premiere July 20th. It got pushed back to December 21st, and now it's pushed back again to February 14th of next year. The film starring Rosa Salazar for Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, the Divergent series, Insurgent, Man Seeking Woman. She's playing the motion capture of Alita. Robert Rodriguez is directing the film. James Cameron and his Lightstorm Entertainment partner John Landau are producing the project, and Shutter Island's Laeta Kologridis is penned to script this thing, and I do apologize. I know I mispronounced that name big time. You can check this out, by the way, in the link to the article. So 20th Century Fox has pushed it back, I should say. So I shouldn't really say, Cameron and Rodriguez did it. And it's still pissing me off either way that they're doing this thing. This is the live-action film that's based off of Yukito Kishiro's Battle Angel Alita Gunnm manga. So, honestly, I'm looking forward to this so long as it's like the original trailer. As that second trailer that we got was geared 100% to the Comic-Con fans. You are not going to hear me deny that in any way, shape, or form, because that's what it was. But the part that I want to take away from this is that in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Rodriguez said that the film is a self-contained story, but it tunes up a world and a character that could go on and on. Apparently, Cameron is originally planned for this thing to be a film trilogy. No offense to James Cameron. I mean, hell, the man can do anything, at least according to South Park. Why don't you actually finish your own movie franchises before you start boasting that this is a trilogy? Avatar could still use a sequel because you left some questions on the damn table that never got answered. There are like thousands of fans that will tell you that there are a few questions that are really left unanswered from that first movie. So let's have a sequel to that. That thing will go gangbusters. So many things that, I'm still annoyed with this. Honestly, though, like I said, the first trailer got me suckered into it. I wanted to see it. I hadn't heard of it beforehand. All I heard was rumors and articles about people pissed off about the big, manga eyes. They're like, oh my god, they're really huge, they're scary, they're horrible looking, oh dear god, it's just not right. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, they're beautiful. So, kiss off. I think they're lovely. And that's where I stand. That's where I stand with this. Because, honestly, at this point, I'm pissed off that it's pushed back again. Because I was looking forward to possibly trying to see this thing. And now it's Valentine's Day. That's a perfect idea. You want to take your date out to a movie. Let's go see a movie about a cyborg girl learning about herself, trying to defend herself from becoming a weapon of mass destruction. At least that's what I'm gathering from the trailers. That is a perfect send-off for Valentine's Day. Speaking of Valentine's Day, I'm assuming then that Valentine's Day is on a Friday this coming year. Based off of the fact that they're doing this. And no, it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday. Oh my God! It's coming out on a Thursday. What movies could possibly be coming out on Valentine's Day, February 14th, either the week prior or after, that they have to do this on a Thursday? What movie comes out on a Thursday? Has there ever been a movie that's ever come out on a Thursday that anybody knows of? I don't know. I mean... Okay. I don't really know if there was or not. Okay, here we go. February 14th release movies. 2018. Okay, let me add stuff for next year. 2019. And here we go. Okay, movies coming out February 14th, 2019. Here we go. So let's see what movies are actually coming out February 14th, 2019. So first off, though, I do want to stress this. I know a couple podcasts back, I did say about how Alita was going to get screwed at the box office in December. So yeah, I'm happy that they moved it from that. But the fact that you just announced, you could have just moved it to January. Kick off the new year with this. Not push it a good 2 months into the future. Or almost 2 months. Okay. We got Happy Death Day to You. Wow. That's a nationwide horror movie. Wow! And apparently this is going to be an IMAX, so I'm guessing this is like an IMAX only. So now I won't be able to see it because I'm not going to pay the extra money to go see an IMAX movie. So that's great. So yeah, that makes me happy. So now I can't even see the damn thing. Because we got Alita Battle Angel, which is now coming out on February 14th. Isn't It Romantic? A Rebel Wilson movie, which I'm already out then. It's a nationwide romantic comedy. Yeah, my ass. And we have an untitled Blumhouse Horror Project 3, 2019, nationwide. Yeah, so that's it. That's honestly all the 3 movies that are coming out. What's coming out on the 15th? Wow. No 2019 releases scheduled yet. Okay. Alrighty. So that's interesting. But yeah, so that's what we got. That's what we're up to now with the whole Battle Angel Alita thing. Well, I'm happy that they've honestly decided to move this so that they don't have to worry about, dealing with the Bumblebee movie, which is, I don't know how that's going to do. And the other movie that was coming out that I talked about, both of which were just going to sandwich that poor Alita movie. So I'm happy that they moved it for that reason. If that was the only reason why they moved it, that's good strategy. Although you could have just plopped it forward a month like they did with that Sonic movie and given it to us in November instead of December. So, there is that. But yeah, it's an interesting dilemma, basically. Is it a good thing? And they pushed it up almost a good 2 months, or is it a bad thing at this point? And in all honesty, if James Cameron's really concerned about trilogies, just plop Avatar out of your ass, give us a sequel to that, and your fans will be happy. I'm assuming this is the same James Cameron that did Avatar. The same one that also had a hand in the Terminator movie, like Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Don't make another Terminator movie, by the way. That last one was a train wreck. I think Schwarzenegger will agree on that one. Just, the franchise is dead. Don't bring it back. Don't revive it anymore. It's done. It's done like dinner. But, at least give us another Avatar movie if you're that gung-ho on it. Come on. There's some questions that could be answered yet. But, yeah. So, we're getting into... So, that's the updated information with that. I'm not too pleased about it. I'm kind of pissed. Because it's pushed back again. I mean, I like to see this movie before I turn 90. If that's at all possible. I'm giving you a good 61 years here to iron out any problems that you might have. Because, granted, you're basing this off of a manga, which is fine. But you're also taking this, it's not a live-action anime adaptation, it's a manga adaptation. Which means you have a little more wiggle room to work with than you would normally. So how is it that you need more time? You got a good 61 years if you want me to at least see it before I'm 90. Although at that point, I doubt highly that I'm going to want to go to the movies, voluntarily, mind you. I might have to go if it's like an old folk day or something. Senior citizen day. I'm not going to want to go to the movies dragging a 30-pound oxygen tank with my nurse just to watch a movie about a cyborg that I could have seen 60 years ago or 61 years ago. Don't screw us to the wall here, guys. I mean, if you're going to come out with it, come out with it. If you just want to do like a direct-to-DVD movie or direct-to-Blu-ray, just do that. If you don't think it's going to do well in theaters, just shove it out on a Blu-ray, put it out on DVD and Blu-ray, and just call it a damn day. If you're that worried about it. You can still make money yet off of that. In fact, you'll probably make a little more because people will buy it. But seriously, if you're that worried that it's going to tank in the theaters, just put it out on DVD, make it a direct-to-video release. Just go that way. Or better yet, do what Sony did with the interview and just plop it up online for everybody to watch and see what happens that way. But either way, yeah, that's the update with it. I'm not too thrilled about it. I'm still kind of pissed. But, yep, that's where we're at. It sucks. You know what blows? When you get fired. You know what sucks even more? When you get fired because your company's going belly up and they're closing the doors. And that's what's happened with TellTale Games. Their employees have been left stunned by the company's closure. And guess what? They ain't getting no severance pay either. So TellTale Games employees were surprised when CEO Pete Hawley announced the closure of the company at a staff-wide meeting. One employee, a source told Kotaku, had been working until 3 a.m. the night before with no inkling that the studio was about to let them and over 200 other employees go, leaving a skeleton crew of 25 people to finish work on a final project, Minecraft Story Mode, according to Variety. Now, Pat Contry and Ian Ferguson talked about this on the CU podcast. I have been reading this all week, when the news thing pops up on my tablet. It's interesting. So, the company basically is closing its doors. They wanted to remain anonymous. There's a former employee that wanted to remain anonymous that said, as they pursue looking for work elsewhere in the video game industry, the timing was just one of those. It was just one of the meeting's unwelcome surprises. The head of human resources dropped another bombshell. To the audible shock of Telltale employees, there would be no severance pay. So all your hard work, all you putting into your, possibly getting a severance pay should you get fired, guess what? It's gone. And it's gone. It's like if anybody out there's ever saw that South Park episode. And it's gone. Those laid off were encouraged to begin applying for unemployment as soon as possible and were told their health benefits would run out at the end of the month. Just 9 days later, according to a source and to social media postings by ex-developers, they had 30 minutes to leave the building. That's pretty much, at that point, it's shop till you drop. It's basically, you now have a timer. Hey, the company's going belly up. We're all getting fired. Raid the supply closet and get the hell out the door. Because, hey, that's when you make a basket with your shirt, you grab a couple of those boxes that you probably had to pack your shit in on your desk, you quickly fill that thing up with staplers, notepads, pencils, pens, tablets. You grab whatever isn't nailed down and make your way out the door. If you've been given 30 minutes, hey, that's 30 minutes. All I got to do is make sure that my ass is out the building. It's out of the building. I'm not saying that anybody probably did that, but in all honesty, at this point, you ain't getting a severance pay. You ain't getting, you're probably going to have to fight for your unemployment. You're losing your health benefits. At this point, whatever ain't nailed down that the company can't arrest your ass for, grab it and run. I know it's one of those massive jokes in a lot of those comedy shows where they have mass firings that happen. But honestly, it's true. At that point, just grab shit, start putting it in, make a basket out of your shirt, grab bags, grab boxes, and go to town. As quickly as you can. So long as you're out of the building in 30 minutes, you should be good. But the lack of a severance, a detail that began circulating on Twitter shortly after the shutdown, was one of the bitterest details in the game studio collapse that sparked outrage and sympathy among those who play and make games. TellTale had been around for more than a decade and was in the midst of rolling out a new episode of its signature series about The Walking Dead, episode 2 of a supposed 4 planned for release. This was when was this article put out? This article was put out Monday at 1 p.m. Okay, so this would have been like Tuesday. The rationale for failing to pay out severance provided by Hallwell, according to Kotaku sources, which is the article, by the way, that I got this off of, it was that this was a business closure rather than a partial layoff. What the hell does that make a difference for? You fired them. You didn't lay them off. You fired their asses. You told them, you're fired. You only get a severance pay if you get fired. If you're laying them off, that means that they have the prospect of having their job yet if the company goes on an upswing. That's business 101. So you like the 25% downsizing that hit the studio last November. A California law, the Cal-Warn Act, requires employees provide 60 days notice for mass layoffs, but allows some exceptions that could have applied to TellTale. That wasn't much consolidation, however, to the people who had been working long days leading up to Friday. While the source knew the company's future was in question, they never suspected the end was so close and at hand. By the time they got back to their desks, their work for Google accounts had already been disabled. Ouch. This is a neat quote here that I kind of got a kick out of from a former TellTale character artist in the hours following the meeting. None of my sleepless nights or long hours on weekends trying to ship a game on time got me severance today. Don't work overtime unless you're paid for it. Y'all protect your health. Companies don't care about you. Another ex-employee said that they'd wished they had taken more vacation time while they still had a job. All I want right now is to rest for a couple of days, they tweeted. But since we got no severance and our insurance expires at the end of the month, I don't have that luxury. Neither employee provided further comment. Yeah, I guess that does kind of suck. So now you have to dip into finding health insurance, which for a lot of people is a pain in the ass. You're not getting any severance pay, so you have to apply for unemployment benefits, which is another pain in the ass. Believe me, I helped my mom when she had to file for unemployment. That was a pain in the ass for her. And what's going to probably suck about this, and I'm really going to hate to think about it this way, but TellTale's probably going to come up with we didn't technically fire them, they're laid off, so that they won't have to pay out the unemployment, which is going to suck. Let's see here. A lead designer on several TellTale games, including the most recent one, The Walking Dead final season, spoke publicly about how long hours were customary at TellTale. It's true we usually worked 50-plus hour weeks, sometimes 70 to 80. Weekends were often expected. We were constantly understaffed. Deadlines were ludicrously tight. Our schedules were so close, we went from one crunch directly into another. I mean, the writing's on the wall with this. From what I'm reading here with this and what I've been reading, the writing was on the wall. It's honestly, it's the way that they were going. There's another good quote here. I'm in a weird place as a lead episode designer because I want you to play it. At the same time, companies don't make games. The people who work at them do. And now the team who has made episode 2 won't be around to benefit from any success. It might find. The team did awesome work, pushed boundaries. All I want, and I want you all to see it. Send us off on a high note, but I'm not going to tell you to buy it. So it just gets worse and worse and worse. And there is more to this. So you have activist organizations that are seeking to unionize video game industries. They're putting on a scathing letter on Saturday in response to the circumstances by which TellTale employees were let go. The executives at TellTale are incompetent. They are exploitative. I can't even pronounce that word. They knew that this was coming and failed to warn anybody. The letter alleged unionization can't fix TellTale after the fact. No, it's done. It's dead. It's a smoking crater in the ground at this point. We're basically looking for the black box to figure out what crashed into it. That's what's left of TellTale. Let's see here. At least one employee had joined TellTale only 1 week before the closure and had relocated across the country to do so. Another was a foreign national in the country on a work visa who must now leave within a few days. While none of those laid off are being given severance, contract workers who weren't full-time won't even be able to collect unemployment. So TellTale is just basically taking the screwdriver to everybody. And in all honesty, if they knew that they were this far in the shitter, as it were, if they knew that their asses were grass at this point, they should have started looking at everybody going, okay, here's the thing. We're going to have to lay a lot of yous off. We have to stop the bleeding of our finances. Contract workers, we may not be able to pay you. We'll do our best. We may not be able to pay you. We may not be able to pay a lot of you. We're going to have to lay some of you off. We're just, giving you guys the heads up here. That would have been a nice thing other than, hey, you got 30 minutes. Get the hell out of my office. Get the hell out of our business. Get the hell out of the building. Like I said, at that point, it's grab what you can, sell it on eBay. Which now wouldn't surprise me if I'd see like a bunch of tablets and keyboards and mice and other shit that they could just grab that weren't nailed down suddenly popping up on eBay. That'd be kind of ironic. It's like, yeah, all of a sudden it's like 68 tablets just popped up on eBay. And it's like, well, that must be, and it's located out wherever TellTale's main headquarters was. And also be like, well, we know where that came from. We know where those came from. Those were from TellTale Games. You know what? I'm kind of wondering what one of those tablets looks like. I'm going to buy one. Just to give that employee some good feeling inside, but at the same time go, I just want one of their tablets. Just to basically say I own one now. Because, let's face it. Honestly, at this point, a lot of that stuff's going to wind up online. Because people are now pissed. They're unemployed. They're screwed. They need money to live. And now you've basically taken away their livelihood because, hey, as much as we love you and as much as we're happy that you worked for us for the last how many years, weeks, hours at some point, for the ones that literally just started, we can't afford to pay you. So, yeah, nice knowing you. Thank you so much. So, yeah. But anyway, there's still more to this yet. So, TellTale Games, by the way, is responsible for a lot of games. I'm not going to go into it. You can Google them. But the thing, though, that there was a follow-up to this, and there was an update. So the class action complaint has been filed in California federal court against TellTale Games by an ex-employee. The complaint alleges that TellTale Games violated the state and federal WARN Acts by failing to provide 275 workers who were laid off from the studio last Friday with the 60 days notice required by law. The complainant is seeking judgment from the court that TellTale pay all of the laid-off employees the wages, salary, and 401k contributions and any other money that they would have normally earned during those 60 days. They're not going to pay us. But on top of that, they're also being sued for violating the federal WARN Act, not just the California WARN Act. So it's a double whammy for them. But on top of all this, okay, The Walking Dead final season from them has been removed from several digital gaming storefronts. So it disappeared from the PlayStation and Xbox One digital stores, as well as Steam and GOG. At the time that this article was posted, the game's Season Pass was still available to buy on the Switch eShop. The latest news comes after the studio laid off approximately 90% of its staff, and a couple days after TellTale announced that it was working on finding another partner to potentially help it release episodes 3 and 4 of the game's final season in some form. Guess that's not happening. Episode 1 released in August, and Episode 2 came out on Tuesday, because this one was on Wednesday. I remember that. So TellTale hasn't issued a public statement as to why the game was pulled from stores. However, GOG, CD Projekt Red's digital store, polished a note on the game's page explaining the sudden absence. This is going to be good. So brace yourselves. Are you sitting down? Okay, here we go. TellTale has requested a temporary pause of sales of The Walking Dead final season. It said, for all up-to-date TellTale news, please refer to the official Twitter page. TellTale's Twitter page doesn't currently have an update. Instead, the company's pinned tweet says that the final season is available on PS4, Xbox, Steam, and Switch. The studio did not immediately respond to any request by Kotaku, though, for a comment. So, it was still possible to purchase and download the game Season Pass on Switch, which included the currently released episodes, but charges for all 4. It also appears to still be available on the Microsoft Windows Store and Humble Bundle, whatever the hell that is. Following the layoffs of the majority of the people who worked at the studio without any severance, one ex-employee is pursuing a class action lawsuit, as I said, for violating the California Federal Warrant Acts, which requires, as I said, employees to grant 60 days notice. So they screwed themselves over, but on top of screwing themselves, they also burned their employees, basically got the one person deported because they were working on a work visa, which is now worthless, one that basically pissed away God knows how much to go across country to work for them, and 200-some employees, 90% of the workforce, down the drain, unemployed, trying to figure out how they're even going to be able to afford food, and you yank off a game on Steam, on PlayStation 4, and Xbox literally a day after it comes the hell out. Wonderful, wonderful work, you smug bastards. I mean, Jesus. I don't know how much horrible this could be here. But let's look, because there's an update. Now, this update came at about 2:18 p.m. on Wednesday. A spokesperson for TellTale provided the following statement to Kotaku on why the game was removed from stores and its future plans regarding episodes 3 and 4. So let's get our BS meters ready. If you have them at home, get ready for the BS. Here we go. Yes, we have removed season passes for The Walking Dead, the final season, from stores for the time being. We're currently still working to find a way to hand off production of episodes 3 and 4 so that the season can be completed. The outcome of those efforts will determine when and how the final season returns to stores. We hope to have a firm announcement before the end of the week. For now, we apologize for any inconvenience. It was only the second part that came out on Tuesday. My apologies. That was a slip of my tongue. So, you yank off a season pass. You charge people for 2 episodes that don't even exist, may never exist. And now, all of a sudden, as well, we're trying to find a way to make it work after you burned your employees, screwed them to the wall and back. Now you're trying to find a way to make it work. Yeah, I think you've pretty much exhausted that ship, and the SS Screw You has officially sunk into the water. So, as much as it's going to hurt to say this, like I said, I guess TellTale Games is done. I guess that should pretty much be apparent. And this should be a warning to anybody that ever wants to go into the video game industry. Basically, first off, if you ever want to have a job and you have to move across country, first off, make sure you're going to have a job before you actually move all your shit. Because if you're not going to have a job, don't waste the time moving everything. Because chances are you're going to regret it, because if you lose your job or if it like disappears, you're stuck with the cost of having all that stuff shipped out there and probably not being able to afford a home or a place to stick it all. Because apartments on the other side of the country aren't very cheap. Nothing is cheap. Well, except for good jokes, especially those now at TellTale's expense, because you know that a lot of people are going to be making those, me included. No offense to them, but honestly, you laid off 90% of your workforce, and then you're telling everybody, well, we're going to try to make it better, we're going to try to make it work. Please don't, stop loving us. Yeah, like I said, that ship has sailed and sunk and is currently 6 feet under in the water. So, as much as it hurts to say it, I think it's time to kiss the ship goodbye and say, arrivederci. But yeah, it does suck, and I do feel sorry for the employees. So, if there's any more updates with this that I find out for next week, I'll probably have it up again, because this is better than any soap opera. Honestly, this is better than any soap opera I could ever imagine. This is like really, really good. So, yep. But that's the news on that. It sucks, but yeah, it blows. Alright, so when it comes to an anime series that has a whole crap ton of episodes, almost 900 and counting, it usually has X amount of intros and openings, especially when it comes to theme songs. And One Piece is no example, or no exception, I should say. They're a perfect example, though. One Piece is entering the climax of the Whole Cake Island arc. About goddamn time. No, I'm not joking on that. I mean, this was still going on yet back when Dragon Ball Super was still airing. So, like I said, it's about goddamn time. Yeah, seriously. It's testing the limits of Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates. So now the series is about to get a brand new opening reflecting the shift in the series. I'm hoping that the opening actually has a small reflection of shorter time span, because the current theme song is about a freaking 2-minute song. That's great. If you want to have a full version as your opener, that's cool. Don't put it in the episode, though, each week. And I'm not joking. It's about a good 2-minute opening. Like 1.5 to 2 minutes. That's annoying. So the new theme song of the series is titled Superpowers and will be performed by the group V6. It's going to debut as part of the October 7th episode, which is certainly a big one, as the fight, spoiler by the way for those of us that have been watching this each week, minus when they didn't have it on last week. Well, no, the week before last. My apologies, the week before last. Luffy and Katakuri have gotten... the battle between Luffy and Katakuri has gotten more intense. Over the last few weeks, Katakuri has proven himself much stronger than any foe Luffy has faced so far, as he has been able to match every one of Luffy's abilities with a stronger version of them. Yep, Gum Gum Axe, Gum Gum Giant Pistol, Gum Gum Heat Hawk. Every single move Luffy can do, he has been able to counter it and give a stronger version of it courtesy of his goddamn Devil Fruit power. Some of those I think are OP and definitely just honestly way too strong. So we're getting this, and it's, more and more, but there's some more information though for the upcoming thing. So Luffy's Red Hawk attack was even deflected in the most recent episode of the series, and Katakuri has debuted a new powerful weapon. Yes, a trident that he can spin really rapidly and turn into like a mixer, or blender, or grinder, whatever you want to call it. So things have gotten bad all over, as the Straw Hats are still being chased by Big Mom and the others. They may have earned a brief reprieve thanks to Jinbei's great ship steering, but the Charlotte family is already back on their tail. But despite all the insanity, fans are going to love to see the new opening theme for the series after watching the last one for so many episodes. Yeah, I can still hear it in my head. It's a long-ass theme song. Ichiro Oda's One Piece first began serialization back in Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump in 1997, And honestly, this thing has hit the 20-year mark last year, so it's over 20 years old. 80 volumes, over 800 episodes and counting, 430 million copies of the series manga-wise sold worldwide so far. And there's more information, though, about this. So Oda's even revealed some information and more news about One Piece's future. In a recent interview, he stated that he was about 80% done with the manga at this point, with the Wano arc. Fans are worried that the series may be coming to an end sooner than they thought, but it wouldn't be wrong to infer that the ending will most likely still be years away, given how much of the world there is to explore and just how well it's selling week to week. So yeah, as cool as it is, keep in mind, it's been going on for 20 years. This thing has officially run longer than Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach. It's run longer than all of those. So yeah, I mean, if he wants to end and he goes, he's almost 80% done, he may be, actually right. Because keep in mind, they're taking on the warlords of the sea, the big cheeses here. The Wano arc was basically them taking down, and the name's going to escape me here. Crap. Damn it. Okay, the name escapes me. It's the one that Trafalgar wanted to take down, and Big Mom. So that's 2 of the 4. The only other one is honestly Blackbeard, which they're going to have to take down at some point, but he's OP because he can absorb devil fruit powers, and he knows the secret of the devil fruits. Miserable bastard. And that only leaves Shanks. And my one coworker was telling me about this. Apparently there was a chapter where Shanks was going to meet with CP9. So if he's getting in bed with CP9, that means only one of 3 things. Either A, he's going to be taking on Blackbeard and wants some extra backup, knowing that he can't handle Blackbeard now the way he is. 2, CP9 wanted to get some intel on Blackbeard. 3, it's going to be a triple team up, all literally to take on or take down Blackbeard. So all 3 of them basically revolve around Blackbeard at this point. Or Marshall D. Teach, by the way, for those of you wondering. I'm wondering if he's like a relationship to Luffy because he has a D in his name. But anyway, so that's the whole thing right now with One Piece. And yeah, the series has just gone on and on and on, especially that opening. It's like I said, like 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes long. That is way too long for an opening for an anime series. By the time that's done, I'm bored. And for me to say that, that's a bad thing. And I mean, that's a bad, bad thing. Because then that's basically saying, well, as great as it is, and I don't want to watch the episode, but I still want to watch the episode. But they keep dragging everything out. It's like, well, the manga might soon come to an end, but that doesn't mean the anime is going to come to an end. Because we still have so much left that has to be answered in the anime series. Like, are they going to get to Wano? Which apparently they are. What's going to happen? Are they going to find One Piece? All this other fun stuff that still has to come yet. So we still have a tremendous amount to go versus what we had beforehand. So as fun as it's going to be to see this new intro that they're now bragging about, which I really could care less about, it's more or less interesting to see where the series is going versus, hey, we're giving you a brand new opening. Hope you like it. That's cool. You want to kind of give us a brand new direction as to where this is going? Opening's cool and all, but seriously, I'd rather have a brand new, hey, this is where it's going. I'd rather know where it's going than how it's been. But yeah, so that's what's coming up. That's what's coming down. So feel free to check that out. October 7th, which will be next week. Did it say October 7th, right? Double checking here quick. Yes, October 7th episode. Okay, so check it out on October 7th, and that sounds... Yeah, that would be right. Okay, yep. That's right. Alright, so check it out. It'll be next Sunday. If you get a chance, check it out. If not, Just YouTube it. I guarantee you somebody will have the opening up if you're really that desperate to look at it. Ah, good old SAO. How long has it been since I had a Sword Art Online topic? I don't know. So good news, though, for Sword Art Online / Nintendo Switch fans. 2 SAO Switch ports are getting English language releases. Specifically, the 2 games getting the old English treatment. Yes, we're going to make sure that you know how to say yes, no, maybe so, and hello in English. Are Sword Art Online Hollow Realization and Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. Now, Hollow Realization I actually do remember reading about a while back. Fatal Bullet was one that I know I talked about it on here before, but I don't remember much about it because I don't remember exactly when I talked about it. So yeah, I have a bad memory with certain things. Hollow Realization follows Kirito, Asuna, and friends, while Fatal Bullet is a shooter-based spin-off from Gun Gale Online. The releases of these Switch games, plus that of Sword Art Online, Lost Song on Stream, are part of a project marking the 5th anniversary of SAO-based games. Time flies when you're Sword Art Onlining. Oh god, that was bad. But yeah, this is actually a pretty cool thing. So, basically, Sword Art Online is getting a Switch port, which, in all honesty, the Switch could kind of use. Don't get me wrong, the Switch has some good games, but having something on it that, honestly, beforehand, I don't think was on a Nintendo console, because if I remember right, Hollow Realization was a PS Vita game, and I think Fatal Bullet was going to be given the similar treatment. So, having them go to the Switch is actually a good thing. Because that way you can now actually have a gaming system that can probably handle it much better than you would think. Plus, with the Joy-Con controllers and everything else, you could probably get some better movements and controls out of it than you would have normally. Now, yes, what this does mean also is that you're going to have that moment where stupid things will happen, but then again, you have that regardless. But still, it's nice to finally see a decent game coming to the Switch, other than really crappy third-party titles and things that I don't think anybody gives two craps about anymore. Yeah, we had a Zelda game on it. Yeah, there was this and that. But seriously, I mean, who cares about Zelda anymore? Does anybody really care about Zelda? Is Zelda... you know what, never mind. I know it's still a thing. Never mind. I know it's still a thing. But anyway, yeah, there's all that to look forward to. But I'm actually having fun playing Integral Fracture right now. I finally got back into it. Because I went through, finished off the one floor. Ironically, on my first shot, too. I've just finished it off today. Ironically, on my first shot, I beat floor 6, which was a mana core. Which, the last time I ever saw a mana core in a game was Golden Sun. I shit you not, the original Golden Sun. It was the final boss in the Oasis Desert. That was the desert that you had to use Ivan's Reveal to find the small pools of Oasis because the temperature just climbed up repeatedly, just made it hotter and hotter and hotter. It would hit the top, you'd all take damage. That was one hell of a fight. I lost at least 2 or 3 times, I think, having to redo the desert multiple times. It wasn't as bad as the Kraken fight. That took me like 3 days to beat, and not as bad as the final boss fight. The final boss fight, which took me like 6 months. No, but yeah, about 5 months. 5-6 months to beat. But yeah. So having some Sword Art Online games coming to the Switch is not actually a bad idea. Because then that gives people a majority of ideas to play with. And plus, as fun as a lot of the games are on the other systems, giving Nintendo a shot to say, hey, look, we have an anime title, let us enjoy it, which is something that they very rarely get to do. If they do get one, it's usually one that's simultaneously released on them, Sony's, and Microsoft's consoles all at the same time, and theirs is usually an El Cheapo version because they don't want third-party developers screwing around with their stuff. That was why their Virtual Boy failed miserably. And multiple other games consoles too. I mean, a perfect example is the Virtual Boy. But then you also have that whole crap with the the Wii U and all that other stuff. But still, getting games consoles based off of an anime, especially one that's like this, that still has the third season coming out, so they're riding the popularity train. It's got the anniversary, the 5-year anniversary that's coming out. You have the fact that it's doing really well, like with the previous seasons are being rewatched multiple times. The new season's coming out. You had the movie that came out, Ordinal Scale. All of those combined to really form a really great triangle of, you know what, we really have a good shot here. Let's pull this out for the Switch. Maybe we'll really get some good things going. But still, getting those two games, I actually kind of enjoy the fact that people are going to be able to play them. They're getting the English treatment, which is something that's very well deserved. And like I said, last time I saw there was something they were going to be like for the PS Vita or whatever PlayStation's handheld console was. I don't think they even have it out anymore. But they were going to be for that. And at the time, they were only Japanese exclusives. You couldn't get them in English. So they're getting the English treatment. They're getting, put onto the Switch. That's actually a pretty good idea in my opinion. So either way, I'm for it. I'm game. I don't have a Switch or I'd buy it, but yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So more power to them. I hope it works out really well. Hope we can get some really good games coming for the Switch, because this could just be their stepping stone till Jump Force comes out, because I think they want to get their hands on Jump Force. Well, that's going to do it this week for the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. It's now 11:09. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I can listen to the last 50-some minutes of Backtracks USA, and then I'm going to go to bed. And then start tomorrow all anew. So, until next time, don't forget, if you have any topics you'd like me to talk about, feel free to drop them at one of 4 places, either on the podcast email, acrpodcast@gmail.com, on my Twitter page, @OtakuRoads, on my Facebook page for my channel, you're not getting my personal one, WebDesigner18 on Facebook, or feel free to just plop them into the discussion section here on my YouTube channel. And until next week, and hopefully I will get my camera situation figured out. Doubt it highly. But hopefully I will get it figured out, or at least something figured out. But until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. And we now return you to Fishing with Fred, already in progress. Bye, everybody, and see you all next week.